Hello everyone, I'd like to talk to you today about LEED certification. LEED certification is the flagship program of the U.S. Green Building Council, which is a nonprofit that seeks to make green buildings prevalent throughout the U.S., but they also have a large international presence as well. Green buildings are, of course, any buildings that are environmentally responsible, both in how they're built and also how energy efficient they are. The screed for LEED is Better Buildings Are Our Legacy, and the LEED certified buildings seek to be better by just meeting a bunch of green criterion throughout many different categories. So what is LEED? LEED is Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, is what the acronym stands for. It's a worldwide program. It's well integrated with other international standards for green buildings. The nonprofit organization, the Green Building Council, provides lots of support, both online and in the form of certified professionals. You can go online and pay $300 and take the exam and get LEED certified as an architect or as an engineer, and then help people do their own LEED projects. So with LEED, you can get one of four certifications. You get standard certification, silver, gold, or platinum. It's actually a standard practice in Boston now, ever since the city ordinance declared that all large-scale buildings need to get LEED certified, that they have to be at least a standard level of certification. Although if you walk around downtown, there are a number of buildings that are silver, gold, and platinum. You'll see the crest of the U.S. Green Building Council on the outside of the building. It's a major source of pride. Not only do buildings get energy savings whenever they take up LEED certification, but they also get the marketability. They can charge higher rent. There's a lot of ecotourism that deals with going to see LEED certified buildings. It's generally a boon for the whole area. The other nice thing about LEED is that pretty much any construction project you want to undertake, whether it's building a brand new building or retrofitting an older one, LEED has a certification system for it. You can see the 5 different categories of projects that they cover listed here, and there are, of course, a different list of criteria they can meet for each of these. When the project meets these individual kind of marks, whether that's buying Energy Star appliances to furnish the building, whether it's using passive solar designs, whether it's incorporating native plants and preventing erosion in the landscaping, all sorts of different criterion systems where you earn credits or points in order to get your rating. So here you can see the different thresholds of points required for each rating system. They're all scattered throughout different categories, and the cumulative score equals your certification level. But the data really is the most telling part here. The average LEED certified building uses 32% less electricity, and also, impressively, saves 350 metric tons of CO2 annually. As we calculated in class, the average U.S. citizen emits 27 metric tons of CO2 emissions annually, so 350 is another order of magnitude beyond that. It's pretty impressive for just one building. Here's a little case study so you can see just what I mean by the different points in different categories. This is the San Diego Zoo Beckman Center for Conservation Research, which is LEED Silver certified. The different categories you can see here are the sustainable sites, the water, which means just choosing a site where there'll be low erosion, you have low impact for doing the excavating to build the building in the first place. Water efficiency, most LEED buildings recycle their gray water and use it for flushing toilets and other in-building activities. Energy and atmosphere just being how efficient they are as far as the energy use within the building. Materials and resources. Most LEED buildings aim to have either recycled or recyclable materials to build it. Also, locally sourced is a big point sink in the LEED certification. Indoor environmental quality. Most green buildings are actually healthier than average buildings simply because natural ventilation systems are that much more efficient. And last but not least, one of the most important aspects, I think, innovation and design. These private sector kind of contests that, private citizens are motivated to excel at, such as the LEED certification, are meant to spur a lot of innovation, a lot of clever solutions to green issues. And that, I think, is really important to award that through the LEED Silver system. So with this total score of 33 out of 60, this building earns silver certification. There are, however, some drawbacks to LEEDs, and taking a look at this graph, you can see pretty quickly what they are. Uh, Buildings with this point system, with the very clear-cut thresholds of what points equals what certification, mean that people tend to aim for the bare minimum. It would be nicer to see more kind of altruistic system where you simply try and get the greenest building possible with the means for your building budget. Um, and this really isn't quite, incentivized by just being able to say this whole category is gold or this whole category is silver. So maybe a solution to that would be, say, you're silver certified, but in addition to displaying your fancy silver plaque, you also display your numerical score, and also have to list the individual points of the building. It's also kind of misleading because just saying gold means that you just got particularly high points. These points might not necessarily be a holistic approach to the building. You might, for example, say have a really efficient heating system, but might be on par or even subpar with all of your other systems. So it's really possible to skew which category you fit into with LEED. So I'd like to just present one of the buildings that got me interested in LEED in the first place. This is the Eco Dorm, one of the undergraduate dormitories at Warren Wilson College. It's outside of Asheville, North Carolina, and it's where I got to spend actually 2 weeks as a summer camp counselor. I was actually, one of my responsibilities was being the camp cook, so I got to cook meals for 60 people every night in that kitchen you see in the upper right. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful building and has a lot of really inspiring practices, as you can see listed here. My favorites in particular were the heating system. In the lower left corner, you can see there's radiant hot water heating in the floor. By just heating the floor, which was all either concrete or recycled tiles, rather than heating the air, it was a lot more energy conserving system, and it was also, I'm sure, nice and toasty in the winter. I was there in the summer, and just by having some energy efficient fans with the passive solar cooling, it was a very pleasant place to be, even in North Carolina. My other favorite feature was that they used a lot of native plants in a permaculture garden outside of it, so, nipping out and grabbing some fresh herbs was always nice. I encourage you to pause it and read some more about the Ecodorm here, because there are lots of cool details about the Warren Wilson practices. Other than that, thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something about LEED certification.